Good afternoon, guys, and happy Sunday to all of your sunshiny faces. I did not end up actually getting up super early today. I actually probably could have gotten up earlier than I did, but I got up for like maybe around 10 something, almost 11. I wanted to get up early today because we had a couple errands that we had to run. We went to Menards, to some other place, Menards, Target, and to GameStop today. The thing was that my dad came in, he was like, Kayla, GameStop doesn't open till noon, so we don't have to go in the morning. And I was like, okay. And then I ended up sleeping until what felt like close to noon. Again, it was probably about, I think about like 10:30 or something like that. And then we went to the other stores and then went to GameStop after that. Which is weird though, because I think GameStop used to open at like 10 o'clock maybe. Like maybe 9 o'clock, but I remember there was one morning where we were running errands to like other places, like to Target and maybe Walmart and stuff like that, back when our old GameStop used to be closer to us. Now it's like all the way out, like a good 20-minute drive away. It's one of the closest ones. So yeah, back when it used to be closer to us, it was like near like our Target and Walmart. We were out one morning early in the morning running errands, and I remember it wasn't open for like another like hour, 2 hours from when we were out, like I said, running errands. And so I feel like that was probably like, it didn't open until like 10, maybe 11 o'clock, but I feel like noon is maybe because of, you know, like like the pandemic and everything like that. You know, maybe they're just opening later, because I know that plenty of places have different hours and stuff like that, mainly because of that. But I really thought that they were their dogs just came running into my room after being outside. I really thought they opened earlier than noon. So anyways, now they're they're getting frustrated with each other. What's the matter? What's the matter? Mr. B, what's the matter? Where are you? Oh, you're down on the floor. What's the matter? Oh, you're just gonna sit up there and taunt him because he can't get up without my help. Bravo won't get up on the bed. Anyways, the reason we had to run to GameStop actually was because we pre-ordered this pre-pandemic, and we did not end up getting it until now, which was kind of crazy, because it came out still, I think honestly it came out in like May or maybe June or something like that. And so we went in today, they were like, oh, you pre-ordered that game? And we're like, yeah, we haven't been here in a while. Like, we haven't been there since before the pandemic, which I think was back in like February or something like that. And so we were like, yeah, we pre-ordered it. And like, you know, it's weird to pre-order something and then you pick it up like 3 months after it actually comes out or whatever. So yeah, because I told you guys I used to have that game, the SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, on the PS2, and I was actually replaying it just recently because I wanted to play it just pretty much to like finish it, because I never actually completely finished it for the PS2, and I still haven't actually, but now that I have this, I'm going to try it on the Xbox now and see if it's different. But I wanted to kind of play it recently to when I was actually going to play it, so we could have totally went and picked it up more recently than that. It's just like there wasn't any, we haven't had a reason any other reason to go out there, but since we were going to run errands anyway today, we ended up doing that. So the other thing too is that we did get our pressure washer, power washer, whatever you call it, from Menards as well, which was something that we had been planning on getting for a while, so that we can do some power washing of some stuff. The only thing is, guys, was that I spent a lot of time actually outside yesterday and sort of today too, sort of sitting outside, enjoying outside and the porch and the deck and everything like that. The only problem is that this is probably, and I know I've said this a couple times now, probably going to be the last weekend that we have nice warm weather. Yesterday, or maybe Friday or something like that, was like a high of 80, which is kind of crazy for October. That really never almost happens at all. So yeah, I think that will finally be the last time that we get, like, today was like still like 70 or 75 as a high or something like that. So I really think that, again, this will be one of the last you know, like this weekend was supposed to be one of the last ones. After this, I think we're supposed to get like a cold front. It's supposed to rain and stuff like that tomorrow, I believe. And so it's supposed to get down into like the 50s and 60s and stuff like that, which still isn't that bad, but it's still, you know, it's cooler, chillier fall sort of weather. The thing is that, you know, I like I said, I've said this now, I think a couple of times when I thought like it was going to be the last week or the last weekend we were going to have, you know, warm, nice weather, and it turned out, you know, probably not necessarily true up until this week, but maybe after this week will be actually the last time. But who knows? We could get a random day in November where it's like 75 degrees and stuff like that. Like that happened one year. I think I was in either 7th or 8th grade, and I remember being in middle school, and I was in health class though, and this was in probably like January or February or something like that. And there was one day where it was like 2 or maybe 2 days in a row, or 3 days maybe, where it was like 70s out, and everybody that had gym class, because I had health that quarter, had to go run outside, like, you know, and do the mile and stuff like that, and go run outside. And it was like, you know, because it was so hot out, and I remember sitting in the class and the windows were open too in our health class because it was so hot in the school too. And it was, like I said, like February or something like that, when there should have still been snow on the ground, but it was hot outside. So, you know, it's not that that's super, you know, absolutely unusual. It's very uncommon, but we do every once in a while, you know, we might get a couple days where it's like hot and then it goes back to being like freezing cold again. But you know, in the fall we can still have some random days and stuff like that. So one of the things too is that when we kind of have exhausted that, you know, it's not going to be warm anymore, like, you know, it's not like we have a pool or anything like that, but at some point we're going to have to be like, okay, we'll take down, you know, the curtains that we have outside for a little deck cabana out there. We'll need to, you know, bring our cushions in, or put them in the garage, and, you know, our furniture and stuff like that, try and put it either like in the middle of the deck or something like that. I wanted to get at Aldi, actually, this week they had chair covers on sale, and they were completely out, so that stunk. The only kind they had was like loungers. Ours are not loungers, so we couldn't get those. But we have 2 outside like deck chairs, and then also 2 our what's it called, the our porch swing, which we can't really cover the porch swing, but we can just bring the you know, all that stuff. And the only thing is, again, I wanted the covers because the chairs I spray painted them 2 years ago, I think, not last summer but the summer before that, I think. I don't know if I don't think I did last year. Like I said, I think maybe it was, oh no, actually maybe it was last year, I don't remember. But now they're kind of starting to get a little like rusty looking again, like they could use another coat of spray paint. And so I obviously don't want to expose them to any more damage. Covering them would be the best option. So, you know, we got the pressure washer, but it might have not been the best idea to have gotten it, just because we probably will use it maybe once, twice, maybe not even at all yet this year, but at least we have it so that we can use it if we do need to. But my one big thing I was telling you guys was I really wanted to clean our garage door so we could get some of those, they're like magnetic sticky like fake window sort of decals, but they're magnetic, so they go on like aluminum garage doors. It just kind of enhances the curb appeal and everything like that. And then also too, they have the little like hinge looking things too that are also magnetic. You can order them on Amazon. I think I figured we could get like the whole set for like 40 or so bucks, which isn't too bad. And again, it just makes the curb appeal, and, you know, kind of, it just makes it look nicer outside. You know, and enhances the look of it and everything. So that's what we wanted to do, and I was like, well, we need to like wash the garage door. It's kind of dirty and gross looking. So we got the pressure washers to do that too. And then also too, so we can like clean the deck, we can clean like our garage needs re-siding anyway. It's like press board material and it's like falling to pieces sort of, so it needs new siding anyway, but there's a lot of it on there that is like green, like almost like mossy algae kind of, not algae, but like you know, like green, like, you know, just like, I don't know, outside wear, you know, kind of look, like mossy, I don't even know, but just like that dirty green looking, you know, kind of stuff. And it needs a good, again, I think it looks bad, you know, as it is, but I think it would look a tiny bit better if it did get pressure washed and everything, or power washed. And the house too, there's some spots in the house where there's like a green like dinge on it, that could, you know, some of the bricks and things like that, that could definitely use some washing as well. And our fence too, that's the other thing, is that we have that bird sanctuary in the backyard. The birds like to sit on our deck and poop on it. And not our deck, our fence, on the fencing. And then also too, our deck, like the floorboards need to be cleaned, because we have some of that too, some wear on that, because there's holes in some of the roofs, which again, we need to replace all of that. We're planning on replacing a good portion of the deck and the roof and that kind of stuff, but just to get it to look a little nicer for the time being, we can always just pressure wash it. And then too, to do concrete in the sidewalks, and you know, at some point when we get the new paved driveway, which my dad is really pushing towards wanting to get this year, and he's been trying to ask people, like, you know, who they recommend and stuff like that. I think I was telling you guys this, but yeah, so there's a lot of stuff with that too, and he really wants to get it done before this year, because he also wants to get a snow blower so that he doesn't have to shovel the entire driveway, because it's a pain. Him and Jack normally do it, and it still takes them about 20 minutes or more, you know, especially if we had a bad, you know, what's it called, a bad snow the night before or whatever. So having a snow blower would be really nice, but we can't even really have a snow blower right now because there's so many like just potholes, and it would probably just wind up throwing rocks everywhere, and we'd wind up with broken car windows and stuff like that. You know, or broken house windows, or, you know, it just wind up spitting rocks out, because that's what, it's very gravelly, although it was asphalt. It's very, very gravelly. So yeah, there's, like I said, a handful of things still that, you know, we want to try and press to get done before the end of, you know, winter and everything like that. But yeah, anyways guys, that is, I guess, sort of the update for today. That was what we ended up doing. And yeah, so I also learned some more of my German today. I have been good 3 days in a row now. I have been staying on top of learning my German words, and I've been doing, I think I was telling you guys too with the Duolingo, I was like, I don't know if there's like review and stuff like that. So once you finish the whole lesson the first time, you can go back and do review on like your different like sections, I guess, sort of. So like I was going back over the basics, just so that I can again really grasp and understand those type of things. I think tomorrow I'm finally going to move on to like the next section, because I went through the whole first, like, I don't know if they call it levels. I don't think so, because they call it, like, I don't know, maybe they call it sections or something, but the first like bubble, I've done it all the way through to actually completing it, and then I did it all the way through a second time, like as a review sort of. So I've basically done like the whole 6 parts, but you can actually, there's 5 different lessons in like a section sort of, that is basically like sort of review again, to get you really familiar with, you know, what you're doing. So you can kind of move on at any point, but you know, it's smart to sometimes go back and do like some of that review. So I was just going to do it so I really understood the basic and grasped the basic concepts first, and then move on. So the next part is going to be learning the, which in German there's 3 different forms of the, so that's going to be interesting. I actually kind of knew that already, because my mom uses it a lot when she's speaking German, but it's fun too, because she's like, as she's been doing it sort of and helping me, she's like, oh yeah, I remember that. The one thing that is killing me right now sort of is learning the different genders, like of like the gender pronunciations of like words, and how like woman, and that there's a different A, if you're saying a woman, a man, there's 2 different forms to say it in. So like, you know, if it's a masculine or feminine, gender neutral term as well. But that, like, I was confused at first, because I learned the word for woman, man, child, boy, and girl. And so when you use it for any like younger beings, I guess, like child, boy, and girl, you still use the, like, it's more of like the neutral term, which is the actual masculine if you're saying a, I guess, from my understanding. But that had me thrown off because I was like, well, I should be saying a girl, like the feminine form of it, but because it's like younger, I guess, like saying a girl instead of a woman is a different form of it, and you don't use the feminine, you just use what is actually the masculine, but it's just like the neutral term. So yeah, I was a little bit confused, but I started to pick that up. And then again, it's some of the thes are going to be difficult because there's a lot of different, like, you know, you can say the woman, the man, the child, but there's also going to be like, you know, when you say the cup, or, you know, in German, or the computer, you know, or, you know, I don't know, the dog, like they'll all have different genders that you have to, again, try and place with that. So that's the part that I'm like, I really need an easy like tip for that, which is weird because my mom, she's like, I never understood. She doesn't really grasp that concept at all, but yet somehow she seems to be getting it right every time. She's like, no, when you say it this way. Like, she's just learned it and is accustomed to it. Me, I want to understand, why am I calling that thing that's just an inanimate object a masculine or feminine term, or using a masculine or feminine term for describing a cup, you know, or whatever it is. So I want to try and understand that. Whereas my mom already knows what you're supposed to say if you're describing the cup. She knows what type of the you're supposed to be using. So again, you know, I want to know why I'm doing it. My mom's just like, I already know why, you know what it is, but she doesn't understand or know necessarily why. She is not fluent in it though either, so like sometimes she just wind up screwing it up, I'm sure, because like sometimes she will translate things in German and it's actually not like the right way that she's supposed to be saying it, because it's probably off. She's saying the feminine, you know, the, when it's supposed to be the masculine the, or whatever. So anyways, that's going to be my next step tomorrow. Is I think I'm going to move on to the next part of the lesson, but again, there's like 3 parts of that next section. So until I do those 3 parts, then I can go back and start to do the review where they incorporate all of what you learned in that. So I think I mentioned that when I was doing it on Friday or whatever it was, but I did realize that you can do like sort of like a review topics, you know, for that, the older sections that you've done. I just couldn't do it because I didn't get far enough into being able to go back and do like that. So there's like 5 lessons per, like, you know, like I said, like the basics, which was the first part I did tomorrow when I start, you know, the lesson. That will have 3 like sections sort of, and then we'll have 5 actual lessons in there as well, that just help review and, you know, teach you sort of like the different ways. So Duolingo is, like I said, really good, but I have been trying to go above and beyond by looking up other things on other, you know, websites, and there's actually 2 I looked up on Spotify. There is a, you can actually learn languages through Spotify too, like sort of like podcasts, but it's just like different like tracks sort of, and you know, you can listen to them. I think the German one that I looked up was only like, the first one was like only 8 minutes or something like that, and I think it was just like introducing yourself or something like that. So there's that, and then there's also, again, I'm sure some stuff also on YouTube, but just sort of looking around at different you know, like ways to learn it. Some people learn visually, you know, audibly, you know, verbally and stuff like that. So, you know, obviously to practice and being able to speak it, you need to, you know, practice actually saying it verbally, but then to also being able to spell it, read it, listening to other people and, you know, the way that they say it, I think is also helpful as well, and actually in context, because like with Duolingo, until you get a little bit more advanced, there are sections too, I think I was telling you guys, like stories, so that you can, I think that's what it's called, and it's actually like fluency and learning, you know, an actual like people having a conversation, so you follow along and read along with it, and then, you know, sort of answer like review questions at the end to find out like, oh, that's what that person was actually talking about and things like that. So I did that before. I probably should have, because there was a lot of words in there that I didn't know yet, and I still don't really know them. But then on top of that too, not just from the Duolingo, but the stuff that my mom's been telling me, I've learned how to say dog. I've learned how to also ask somebody if they can speak German, and I can tell them that I am learning German. So I've learned a handful of like different types of phrases as well and things like that. So yeah, but that was, I think I was telling you guys too, it was a Guten Tag films that were like from, I think, the 50s or whatever it was. My mom was telling me that she used to watch when she was in German class. She put on, and that actually kind of intrigued me into wanting to learn it. And so she, like I said, put that on, and then I was like, some of those I think will be helpful to even watching those videos. But that was what the one episode was. They were asking if the, you know, the people spoke German, and then they were responding with, no, I'm just learning German pretty much. You know, and so yeah, like I said, that is what I have been up to. I am gonna actually, I think I'm gonna set my planner up real quick, then go get in the shower and get to bed, just because I want to have a fresh start to get ready for the week next week and get my things done that I need to. So I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.